What is this and why am I talking about it? Agravity Boys is a weekly manga that ran from December 9th, 2019 to January 4th, 2021, I'm pretty sure. And it's about these four very smart astronauts that go out into space to search for planets that look like ours, so we can live there and shit. But unfortunately, on their first journey, the Earth explodes, I'm pretty sure. And now they're the last human beings alive. But the plot is not too important because this at the core is just a comedy manga, which means that basically this is just a bunch of jokes being published every week, and there's this vague plot in between sticking all of the jokes together. But it's once again not really important. It's kind of like Garfield, but funnier. I'm talking about this because I believe it doesn't matter who you are, if you pick up this manga and start flipping through it, you have some comfy, wholesome enjoyment. What's that, Bob? You wanna know how to exactly achieve this wholesome feeling while reading the manga? Ha! Well, you're in luck. Sit on Grandpa's lap and let me take you to a simpler time. January 9th, 2020. Make myself some dinner and shit, and the fuck? As I go back from work. Bitch ass motherfuckers. It was a very fun experience. Shit, this bit sucks, doesn't it? Fuck.
One dumbass failed bit later.
So stay with me for just a quick second and let me tell you about Agravity Boys.
Pit on my dick looking like who that motherfucker like nigga who deal. Pit on my dick looking like who that little bitch tell a bitch no deal. Pit on my dick looking like who the fuck nigga who deal. Pit on my dick. Mama said trust no hoe, use a rubber.
I'm sorry if that was too long, I just really wanted to do it for myself. Now onto the actual analysis. Yeah, it's four dudes being funny. That's about it. End of the video. Thank you everybody. That's great production here. I'm alone. It's me in the room. It's only ever me. Fuck. Once again, the plot is just a vehicle for the jokes. We have all of these dudes and they do this stupid ass shit, and the plot is a bit of an excuse. Granted, they do ask some relevant questions, for example, what is going to happen to humanity, and what's up with them exploding, and the grand final that we want to achieve is to revive Earth and for the human species to be cool once again and alive mainly. Now let's talk comedy for a second. Comedy in general is a very social thing. You don't laugh alone, you laugh with other people. And when you're watching something alone, it's not exactly funny, it's more so entertaining. Now, I have watched a lot of comedies on my own, and I very rarely laugh, as I'm sure you do as well. And it doesn't really matter, am I looking at memes, reading comics, or just looking at the random Garfield Twitter account on Twitter, I just don't laugh. What does entertaining mean, and how is it exactly different from funny? Well, let me give you an example. In the first chapter, the three dudes are fighting over Chris for like 20 pages, and at some point, Chris calms down the situation, and we have this. Well, we really lost for a minute there. We almost caused the end of humanity forever. I mean, it's only because the rest of humanity, when it killed itself, putting all the pressure on us in the first place. Yeah, it's not cool. I'm laughing right now because I'm recording this, but in a normal situation, I would just give a little and move on with my fucking life. And I would still be entertained for that moment. It's not exactly the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard, but it's still good writing. Thing is that the whole manga is full of these moments, which means that it's very entertaining. Now, the jokes themselves can be divided into three groups. One of them is the classic dick shit fart jokes that are, of course, funny every time. Aha, you've arrived. Who are you exactly? My name is Himere, and I am the spirit of the fire penis. At the end, the second group is the little comment on the situation, like the not cool from earlier, and the last group is just a good old plain joke. Now, what do I mean by joke? Isn't technically everything a joke? Yes, it is, but hear me out here. A definition of a joke in this manga is something with build-up, something that you have to have context for a certain situation to get that it's funny. For example, these four dudes figure out that they're dudes and everybody else is dead, so humanity is not able to procreate. Humanity, they can't fuck and they can't have babies, so humanity will die with the four of them because it's one big sausage fest out there. And what do? They start panicking, but a higher being appears before them and gives them a potion that if you drink it, you become a girl. So this big ass fight breaks out on who is actually going to be the girl. But everybody is really keen on Chris because he's the most feminine looking one. But he doesn't really want to become a girl, but the other three dudes don't give a shit. They have already decided that Chris is becoming a girl. Next question: who is going to fuck Chris when Chris becomes a girl? Now this is the real fight here. We spend a lot of time on this shit. They argue over with each other. Chris tries to stop it one time, but it's not successful, and at the end we escalate the situation so much that they have gone into their battle suits and are ready to kill each other, so only one can remain, and that one can fuck Chris. Now Chris decides to take the situation into his own hands. We see him break out a gun, and the situation is structured in such a way that we think that Chris is going to kill himself because technically he is the cause of the problem. So he almost points the gun to his head and then just points it at the potion. Which, to get this joke and to properly understand it and to have a bit of a moment, you would have to read the manga. And doesn't really seem so funny right now because I can't write scripts and because the manga does such a good job explaining and building up to the joke. So that's the third form of a joke. Did we get it? Why am I explaining all of this? Well, because I need to illustrate the kind of balance that is in this manga. In every chapter there's a different ratio in between jokes, but for the most part the manga is able to achieve this great balance in it, when it's funny but it's not overdoing any of the three types of jokes, and that's why it feels diverse every single chapter.
One dumbass corrupted file later.
Now this balance is the best and the worst thing about the whole manga. It's the best thing because if you're reading this weekly like you were supposed to, all of the jokes will flow flawlessly into one another and will feel like one big, very entertaining experience. Now that's not exactly the same case if you're reading the chapters in bulk. For example, if you read through 10 chapters, the three types of jokes that are repeated over and over become oversaturated. And unfortunately the manga has already ended, so most people that will read it now will just be left with this bitter taste of something that wasn't that entertaining and something that wasn't all that engaging, when in actuality they have just missed the golden period in which you were supposed to read the manga, because in that golden period, woohoo, shit was fucking nice. I want to emphasize how great was this manga at the time, but to do that I'll have to just give a quick look to the biggest pluses and the biggest minuses to everything that has been released weekly. Now it doesn't matter, is that HBO, is that Amazon, is that every seasonal anime ever, or just another ongoing manga. The key is that if you're watching or reading something while you're still going about your day-to-day and going on work and coming back and all that stupid shit, you get attached to the piece of media, since you are growing and the media is growing with you, and since that becomes a bit of a habit, you're way more prone to be attached to not only the media but the characters that are part of the media. Now the biggest minus of something being released weekly is that the story is divided in tiny little bits and you're being just fed all those little bits every week, and you're not consuming the whole story in one or a few big sittings. The issue there, apart from you're not able to gulge up everything that you want at the current moment is that the pacing is all thrown off, and it feels very disjointed when you try to recall what exactly happened.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
For example, I'm sure it has happened to you when you go to watch the next episode of some dumb bullshit and you don't exactly remember what happened last time, and then the whole new episode is thrown off by that shit. This can happen with manga, this can happen with anime, this can happen with basically anything that's being released during a period of time. Now, why Agravity Boys is great is because it doesn't feel disjointed. It doesn't have all of the minuses that every other thing that has been released has. It has only the pluses. You feel attached to our characters, and all of the minuses are being cancelled out because the manga itself is crafted in a way that it can be released weekly and not feel disjointed.
So basically the manga is able to have its cake and eat it at the same time. Thank you, Agravity Boys, for being such an entertaining fucking manga. Rest in peace, baby.
I fucking made it, this is the end. If you by some chance stumbled onto this forgotten part of the internet because you're looking for some high quality, tight ass weekly manga content, well, I have good news. Or I will have good news in a few months, so stick around, I guess. Let's just say if I was you and I liked my manga, I would stick around, but you know, depends on how dedicated are you to your hobbies, really. It's a testament of your own passion in life, so it's up to you. But hey, you know what they say, go hard or die, bitch!
Talking to me, I ride on the beat, they ride on my meat. Pack a punch, I'm packing the heat. I feel like Dante, I'm about to skeet. Feel like Ariana, out of caffeine. I feel like Kodak, I feel the lean. Man, I feel like Zach Fox, bought a Kimmel to the club, and that boy got 2 humps.
I don't know who invented pipes, but stupid ass motherfucker. Didn't know they were cigars apparently. I should have bought a fucking cigar.